series from old school drivers. Today we'll talk about one of the most underrated classic car you can buy, a 1960s Italian sports car from a well-respected name in automotive and motorsport history, the Lancia Fulvia. The name Fulvia continued the Lancia tradition of naming cars from noble Roman names like Aurelia, Appia, Flaminia, and Flavia. The Fulvia was introduced in the early 60s as a replacement for the Lancia Appia, which was the company's small car line, and by then was 8 years old. The Fulvia saloon was styled by Pietro Castagnero and was launched in the 1963 Geneva Motor Show. It was a rather compact, boxy four-door shape that was nevertheless quite roomy for 5 people, and it could seat 5 people in relative comfort. It was also praised for its road holding and handling, even if its performance from the rather exotic V4 engine was nothing to write home about. 2 years later, Lancia introduced a sportier coupe version, also styled by Castagnero. It broke a Lancia tradition that had coupe version designs of its saloons outsourced to various Italian coach builders like Pininfarina and Zagato, although Zagato would eventually design their version of the Fulvia coupe, as we will later see. The stylish 2+2 coupe had a reasonable boot, and its V4 engine was quickly upgraded to 1216cc to answer criticisms on low power, which then rose to 80 bhp, not a large amount even for the period. This, however, didn't stop the car having a wide following. The Fulvia was a commercial success. Hotter engines were added to the lineup as it went through 3 series of production until the final Fulvia rolled off the line in 1976. There was a 1.3 rally version with 101 bhp, but top of them all was the 1.6 115 bhp version that was first produced in 1969. That 1.6 liter was the engine Lancia's racing department, the Reparto Corse, was asking for a long time. They wasted no time in transforming the car to full rally spec. One of the most distinctive features of the car, the rally car, was the inner headlights being of a larger diameter to the outer ones, earning the car the nickname Fanalone, or Big Light in Italian. The official name of the car was Coupe Rally 1.6 HF. HF standing for High Fidelity, a name conjured up by 3 of the racing drivers most loyal to Lancia in 1963, Cesare Fiorio, Dante Marniero, and Luciano Massone. These 3 formed the HF Squadra Corse and were later joined by Giovanni Bracco and 10 others who consistently drove Lancias in competition. The name High Fidelity was chosen to show their loyalty to the manufacturer. Though not an official Lancia outfit at first, the name HF stuck and was used on the competition Lancias right down to the Delta Integrale of the 80s and early 90s. To say the Fulvia was a successful rally car would be an understatement. As well as dominating the Italian Rally Championships until 1973, it won 2 European Rally Championships and 2 World Rally Championships, including the Monte Carlo Rally and numerous others. It was the first of a line of amazingly successful Lancia rally cars, leading the road that would later bring us the Stratos, the 037, and the Delta Integrale. As mentioned earlier, Zagato did get a chance to design their version of the Fulvia Coupe. Called the Fulvia Sport Zagato, it was penned by a young Ercole Spada. Mechanically identical to the coupe, the Sport Zagato's bodywork was indeed totally different. Using 2 instead of a 3-box design, Spada achieved better aerodynamics and generally a more racy appearance. Headlights from the Renault 16 of the period made the car look totally different, and its sloping roof meant that it was officially designated a 2+1. It had, however, more luggage room than the regular coupe, and a clever feature that being that with the press of a button, the rear hatch would be opened by 4 centimeters while driving to assist ventilation in the cockpit. Starting out as an all-alloy body, the Fulvia Sport Zagato went on to follow the Fulvia in all 3 series, and finally it was Zagato's best-selling model. Slower weight and better aerodynamics made it a better performer, and it's certainly a very cool car to own today. The Fulvia was truly one of the Lancia greats. Conceived and built before the Fiat takeover of Lancia, it was a commercial success. As a footnote, in 2003, Fulvia name was revised for a concept car shown in the Frankfurt Motor Show. That was based on the platform of the Fiat Barchetta, having a 1.8 104 bhp engine. But that car never left the prototype phase, and for me that's a great shame. Lancia today is a mere shadow of what it once was. It's really only selling the Y car, and that I think it's only limited to Italy. I am one of the great Lancia enthusiasts, and I for one support the Make Lancia Great Again. Quote, thank you and goodbye.